Have you felt it? That quiet but undeniable shift in the air, like something invisible just moved into place. If the last 48 hours have felt different, restless sleep, random memories resurfacing, sudden clarity, or even emotional distance, this is not a coincidence. This is not just another lunar phase, passing quietly overhead. Something has activated. Right now, the moon is moving through Aquarius, and that changes everything. This energy doesn't whisper. It disrupts. It awakens. It loosens the grip of things you thought you needed. Aquarius is not here to comfort you. It's here to free you. And when the moon, which governs our emotions and inner world, passes through this sign, the effect can feel electric. This is the beginning of what I call a 72-hour destiny reset window, a rare energetic doorway where old emotional cords weaken, outdated identities begin to crack, and hidden truths rise to the surface. You may suddenly see people differently. You may feel detached from something that once consumed you. You may question the role you've been playing in your own life. That's not confusion. That's clarity breaking through. Aquarius is an air sign. Air represents thought, perspective, higher awareness. Instead of drowning in emotion, this moon lifts you above it. It helps you see patterns instead of pain. It creates distance so you can recognize what no longer aligns. Traditionally linked to Saturn, the planet of karma and structure, Aquarius carries lessons about responsibility and long-term truth. But it is also connected to Uranus, the planet of shock, rebellion, and sudden awakening. That combination is powerful. It means breakthrough through disruption. Historically, strong Aquarius energy has coincided with revolutions, technological leaps, and collective shifts in consciousness. It pushes humanity forward. It challenges old systems. It asks bold questions. And now, that same current is moving through your emotional body. This is part of a larger awakening cycle, often associated with the age of Aquarius, a time of innovation, independence, and collective evolution. You are not separate from that shift. You are inside it. If you already feel something activating within you, comment "Reset" below. Let's see how many of us are stepping into this portal together. Now we arrive at something deeper, something that may feel uncomfortable at first, but is actually sacred in its design. This is what I call the Great Unbinding. It doesn't arrive with noise or chaos alone. Sometimes it comes quietly. Sometimes it feels like distance. Sometimes it feels like you waking up and realizing you are no longer who you were. The Great Unbinding happens in layers. The first layer is emotional unbinding. This is where attachments begin to loosen. You may notice that someone you once chased no longer pulls at your heart the same way. Conversations that used to trigger you now feel neutral. You might even feel a strange numbness and wonder, why don't I feel this the way I used to? But this isn't coldness. It isn't bitterness. It's clarity. When emotional fog clears, it can feel empty at first. But what you're really experiencing is space. Space where dependency used to live. Space where illusion used to speak louder than truth. Emotional unbinding is the moment you realize you've outgrown a connection, a pattern, or even a version of yourself. The second layer is identity unbinding. This one goes deeper. It touches the roles you've been playing. The responsible one, the fixer, the dreamer, the one who keeps everything together. Suddenly, those labels feel tight. You may wake up questioning your career path, your social circle, your long-term goals. Ambitions that once felt urgent now feel distant, and a quiet question begins to echo. Who am I becoming? This can feel unsettling because identity has been your anchor. But what if that anchor was tied to an old shore? Identity unbinding is not losing yourself. It is shedding a costume that no longer fits the person you are growing into. Then comes the third layer, timeline unbinding. This is where life itself seems to rearrange. Plans shift unexpectedly. Opportunities dissolve. Certain doors close without warning. At first, it may look like disruption. It may even feel unfair. But look closer. Sometimes what falls apart was never aligned with your next chapter. Sometimes cancelled plans are protection. Sometimes redirection is divine timing, disguised as inconvenience. When a timeline unbinds, it frees you from a future that was built from an outdated version of you. This is not destruction. It is detachment from expired contracts. Contracts you unconsciously signed with old fears, old expectations, old identities. And when those contracts expire, life begins rewriting itself around your evolution. You might feel like you're standing in between worlds right now, not fully connected to the past, but not yet settled into the future. That in-between space is powerful. It's where clarity forms. It's where truth stabilizes. It's where you realize that letting go is not loss, it is alignment. So pause for a moment and ask yourself honestly, what feels like it's dissolving in your life right now? Is it a relationship dynamic, a belief about your limits, a dream that no longer excites you? Notice what feels lighter, even if it also feels uncertain. The great unbinding does not take something from you without purpose. It reveals what was never meant to be permanent. It clears emotional noise so you can hear your real voice. It loosens identity so your authentic self can step forward. It shifts timelines so your path matches your growth. And here's the mysterious part. The more you resist it, the heavier it feels. The more you trust it, the faster clarity arrives. What if this isn't happening to you, but for you? What if what's leaving is simply making room for something more aligned, more honest, more free? You are not falling apart. You are coming untied from what was holding you in place. And once the knots loosen, you will finally see how much space there is to move. Now let's step into the heart of this activation, the 72-hour Destiny Reset Portal. This is not just poetic language. It describes a very real, energetic rhythm that unfolds in stages. When you understand the phases, you stop panicking and you start paying attention. The first phase begins within the first 24 hours. I call this awareness shock. This is when something clicks. A realization hits you out of nowhere. A truth you were avoiding suddenly feels undeniable. You might replay a conversation in your mind and see it differently. You might wake up with a clear understanding about someone's intentions. There can be emotional distance here, not because you don't care, but because you're finally seeing without distortion. It can feel like stepping outside of your own feelings and observing them from above. Sometimes messages arrive during this phase, a random text, an unexpected post, a memory resurfacing at the perfect time. The universe has subtle ways of confirming what your intuition already knows. This phase can feel intense because illusions dissolve quickly. But intensity does not mean danger. It means awakening. Then comes the second phase, between 24 and 48 hours. This is disruption. Plans may shift. Technology might glitch. Devices freeze. Messages get delayed. Schedules change without warning. Conversations feel slightly off. Emotional triggers may rise to the surface, especially if something unresolved is trying to be acknowledged. There's a reason for this. The energy influencing this portal is closely linked to Uranus, the planet associated with innovation, sudden change, and breakthroughs. Uranus does not gently tap your shoulder. It flips the switch. It rules technology, systems, and the unexpected. So when disruption appears, it is not random chaos. It is recalibration in motion. Something outdated is being shaken loose. Something misaligned is being exposed. During this phase, you might feel restless or impatient. You may want to fix everything immediately. But that urge is part of the test. And that brings us to the third phase, from 48 to 72 hours. Recalibration. This is where the storm quiets. Clarity begins to settle in. Decisions that felt complicated suddenly feel simple. Emotional reactions soften into neutrality. You may look back at what felt overwhelming 2 days ago and realize it was guiding you toward alignment. A new direction begins to form, not loudly, not dramatically, but steadily. You start to sense what feels right instead of forcing what feels familiar. This is the moment when your internal compass resets. Throughout these 72 hours, the most powerful thing you can do is observe. Do not chase. Do not over-explain. Do not rush to repair what is naturally falling away. When you chase during a reset, you interrupt the correction. When you observe, you allow truth to fully reveal itself. Ask yourself, what is this situation showing me? What pattern is surfacing? What feels lighter when I stop forcing it? This portal works like an energetic audit. It highlights what aligns and what doesn't. It tests your reactions. It measures your growth. And if you let it, it upgrades your trajectory. You are not meant to control every moment inside this window. You are meant to witness your own evolution. If something unexpected is happening right now, pause before labeling it as negative. Could this be redirection? Could this be a necessary interruption? Could this be life rearranging itself around the person you are becoming? The 72-hour reset is not here to destabilize you. It is here to synchronize you. But synchronization requires surrender, and surrender requires trust. The question is, can you allow the process to unfold without trying to rewrite it too soon? By now, you may have noticed something unusual in your emotional world. The intensity that normally pulls you into reaction feels quieter. The urgency to respond, defend, explain, or prove yourself has softened. And you might be asking, why do I feel so detached? Is something wrong with me? The truth is, nothing is wrong. In fact, something may be very right. When this moon moves through Aquarius energy, emotions are filtered through thought before they are expressed. This is an air influence, and air processes through the mind. Instead of drowning in feelings, you rise above them. Instead of reacting instantly, you observe. That can feel unfamiliar, especially if you are used to experiencing emotions in deep waves. But this is not emotional shutdown. It is emotional intelligence shifting into a higher gear. There is an important difference between detachment and disassociation. Disassociation is when you disconnect to avoid pain. Detachment is when you step back to understand it. One is fear-based, the other is awareness-based. During this phase, you are being invited into healthy objectivity. You are being shown how to witness your feelings without being controlled by them. That space between stimulus and response, that is power. Think about how often emotional reactions are tied to old patterns. A tone of voice reminds you of the past. A delay in communication triggers insecurity. A small disagreement activates a much older wound. When you are fully immersed in emotion, those patterns run automatically. But when detachment enters, something changes. You begin to see the pattern instead of becoming the pattern. You notice the loop instead of repeating it. This is where nervous system regulation comes into play. When you don't immediately react, your body has time to settle. Your breath deepens. Your heart rate steadies. You move out of fight or flight and into awareness. That calm neutrality you might be feeling is not emptiness. It is your system recalibrating. It is your mind and body learning that not every trigger requires a defense. And here is the mysterious beauty of it. When you rise above the emotional storm, you gain a higher perspective. From above, everything looks different. The drama shrinks. The urgency dissolves. The bigger picture becomes visible. You start asking wiser questions. Why did this dynamic repeat? What lesson keeps showing up? What part of me still believes I need this struggle? This is how trauma loops begin to break. Not through force, not through suppression, but through awareness. When you can observe a reaction without being consumed by it, you interrupt the cycle. You create a new pathway. You teach your system that safety does not depend on control. So if you suddenly don't care the way you used to, that's information. If you feel less reactive to something that once overwhelmed you, that's growth. If you're analyzing instead of arguing, reflecting instead of chasing, pausing instead of panicking, that's evolution in real time. Detachment in this moment is not distance from your heart. It is protection for it. It is clarity forming. It is wisdom settling in. You are not becoming cold. You are becoming conscious, and consciousness changes everything. Now you might be wondering, who is going to feel this the strongest? Is this energy universal, or does it hit certain people more deeply? The truth is, everyone will sense it in some way, but for some signs and personality types, this shift will feel undeniable, almost personal. Let's begin with the air signs: Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. If you are one of these, this energy speaks your language. Air signs live in the mind. You process life through ideas, conversations, analysis, and perspective. During this period, your thoughts may move faster than usual. You could experience powerful mental breakthroughs. A problem that confused you for months might suddenly make sense. A situation you overthought may finally feel simple. You may feel called to change your opinion, your plan, or even your entire direction. For you, this is less about emotional overwhelm and more about intellectual awakening. Pay attention to the ideas that arrive unexpectedly. They are not random, they are clues. Now let's talk about the fixed signs: Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio. If you belong to this group, this energy can feel more intense. Fixed signs are known for loyalty, stability, and persistence. You don't change direction easily. You hold on. You commit. You build slowly and carefully. So when a shift like this comes through, it doesn't just tweak your thoughts, it shakes your identity. You may feel like something you were certain about is no longer solid. A belief, a role, a relationship, or even your self-image might feel like it's being redefined. This isn't here to destabilize you. It's here to update you. Growth feels uncomfortable for fixed signs because it challenges what feels secure. But if you allow the change, instead of resisting it, you may discover a stronger, more authentic version of yourself waiting on the other side. Then there are those with strong Uranus placements in their birth chart. You don't have to be an astrology expert to understand this. If Uranus is prominent in your chart, especially connected to your sun, moon, or rising sign, you are naturally wired for sudden change and awakening experiences. During this period, external events may move quickly around you. Plans might shift overnight. Unexpected news could arrive. You may feel like life is accelerating. But here's the key. For you, Disruption is often alignment in disguise. What looks chaotic to others may feel strangely familiar to you. You are built to navigate innovation, unpredictability, and breakthrough moments. Trust your adaptability. And then there are the empaths. Even if you don't know your chart, if you are someone who absorbs the emotions of others easily, you may feel overstimulated right now. When collective energy intensifies, empaths feel it first. You might notice mood swings that don't seem to belong to you. You could feel drained in crowded spaces or unusually sensitive to news and social shifts. This is your reminder to ground yourself. Not every emotion you feel is yours to carry. Protect your energy. Rest when needed. This phase heightens awareness, but it also asks for boundaries. If you're not sure which category you fall into, this is the perfect time to check your birth chart. You only need your date of birth, exact time of birth, and place of birth. With that information, you can generate a full natal chart online for free. Look at your sun sign, which represents your core identity. Check your moon sign, which reflects your emotional world. Notice your rising sign, which shows how you move through life. Even just knowing those three placements can give you powerful insight into how this energy is interacting with you personally. And here's something important. You are more than just your sun sign. Many people only know the sign they read in daily horoscopes, but your moon sign can reveal how you internally process change, and your rising sign shows how you respond outwardly. So if you're feeling this shift in a way that doesn't match your usual horoscope description, it may be because another part of your chart is being activated. Take a moment and reflect. Are your thoughts racing with new ideas? Are you questioning who you are becoming? Are sudden changes happening around you? Or are you simply feeling everything more intensely than usual? Your experience holds the answer to where this energy is touching your chart. I want you to share your sun and moon sign in the comments below. Let's see how this shift is showing up across different placements. When you read through the comments, you might notice patterns. You might realize you're not alone in what you're feeling. This is a collective movement, but it expresses itself uniquely through each person. Remember, astrology is not about labeling yourself or limiting your potential. It's about understanding your wiring so you can navigate change with awareness. The more you understand your own blueprint, the less surprising these energetic shifts become. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you begin asking, "How is this guiding me?" Some of you will feel this as a mental awakening, some as an identity reset, some as sudden life rearrangements, some as emotional overload that demands boundaries. None of these experiences are random. They are reflections of your cosmic design interacting with a powerful moment in time. So ask yourself again, where is this hitting you? In your mind, in your sense of self, in your environment, in your emotions? The answer reveals your personal doorway into this transformation. And once you recognize it, you move from confusion into clarity. This isn't about predicting your fate. It's about understanding your response. And your response is where your power lives. So how do you actually know this portal is working in your life? How do you recognize that this shift isn't just a mood or a random phase, but something deeper unfolding beneath the surface? The signs are subtle, but once you see them, you can't unsee them. They show up in your behavior, your thoughts, your energy, and even in the quiet decisions you're making without fully realizing it. The first sign is this: you're no longer chasing someone. The urge to prove yourself, to send the extra message, to explain again, to hold on tighter, it's fading. Not because you stopped caring, but because you stopped forcing. There's a calm dignity replacing urgency. You're allowing people to show up or step away without trying to control the outcome. And that shift is powerful. When chasing ends, self-respect begins. The second sign is emotional neutrality about a past hurt. Something that once triggered you deeply doesn't have the same charge anymore. You can think about it without spiraling. You can remember it without reliving it. The story is still there, but the sting is gone. That doesn't mean it didn't matter. It means you processed it. It means the lesson integrated. Healing often feels dramatic in movies, but in real life, it feels quiet. It feels like peace where there used to be pain. Another sign is a craving for solitude. You may find yourself canceling plans or needing more alone time than usual, not out of sadness, but out of clarity. You want space to think, space to breathe, space to hear your own thoughts without outside noise. Solitude during this time is not isolation, it's recalibration. It's where your next chapter begins forming. You might also feel drawn to unusual ideas, new philosophies, different lifestyles. Conversations about innovation, freedom, or unconventional paths suddenly grab your attention. You're questioning what you once accepted as normal. You're curious about alternatives. This curiosity isn't random, it's expansion. Your mind is stretching beyond old limitations. Then there are synchronicities, repeating numbers, the same message appearing in different forms. Random conversations that answer questions you didn't ask out loud. A book falling into your hands at the perfect time. When alignment increases, confirmation follows. Synchronicities are not magic tricks. They are reflections of inner shifts meeting outer reality. You may also feel a strong desire to declutter, cleaning your space, deleting old photos, unfollowing accounts that no longer resonate, organizing your environment. This isn't just about tidiness, it's symbolic. When you clear physical space, you create energetic space. You're signaling to yourself that you're ready for something new. Another powerful sign is questioning authority or old systems. You may look at structures you once trusted, in work, relationships, society, or even your own belief system, and feel skeptical. Not rebellious for the sake of rebellion, but thoughtful. You're asking, does this truly align with who I am now? Growth requires examination. An examination can feel uncomfortable, but it's necessary. You might also catch yourself imagining a radically different future. Not small adjustments, big shifts, a new city, a new career direction, a different way of living. Even if you're not acting on it yet, the vision is there. It feels possible in a way it didn't before. That's important. Vision always arrives before action. Another sign is your tolerance level changing. Things you once endured easily now feel heavy. Conversations that revolve around gossip drain you. Environments that lack authenticity feel suffocating. Your standards are rising quietly. You're no longer willing to shrink, to fit spaces that don't match your growth. And finally, you may feel a strange mix of uncertainty and excitement at the same time. It's not fear exactly, it's anticipation, like standing at the edge of something new without fully seeing it yet. That feeling is not instability, it's expansion stretching you. Take a moment and reflect on these signs. Which ones resonate with you right now? You don't need all of them to know the shift is happening. Even one or two are enough to confirm movement. The portal doesn't announce itself loudly. It reveals itself through behavior changes, subtle clarity, and emotional upgrades. If you recognize yourself in these signs, understand this. You are not drifting. You are aligning. The changes may feel quiet on the outside, but internally, something profound is reorganizing. And once inner alignment locks in, outer reality follows. So ask yourself gently, what has changed in me that no one else may have noticed yet? Because that quiet change might be the clearest proof that the portal is already working. Take a deep breath and allow yourself to sink into this moment. Picture every cord that has been holding you, the expectations, the attachments, the old stories, slowly dissolving into light. Feel the weight lifting from your shoulders, leaving space for clarity, freedom, and possibility. Now, imagine yourself standing under an electric blue moon, its glow illuminating every corner of your mind and heart. There is a sense of quiet power here, a knowing that you are stepping out of what no longer serves you and into a path that is fully aligned with who you are becoming. Picture the doors ahead, opening naturally, the way they were always meant to, each step forward effortless and guided. Let the feeling of liberation wash through you, grounding you in the certainty that this is your reset, this is your unbinding, and the portal is open. Feel it resonate in your body, your mind, and your spirit. This is the activation. If you are ready to fully release and step into your next chapter, comment below, I release. Take a moment to reflect on what you are letting go of and allow yourself to name it. Like this video and subscribe to stay connected for future lunar activations so you can continue to flow with the energy of transformation as it unfolds. The shift is real, the moment is now, and your new path is waiting.